These civilizations have never made it into a Civ game. Let me tell you about them. Whenever I want to play as a Civ near the bottom of the Choose Civ list in Civ 6, there's so many civilizations that I must scroll for at least an hour to get down to them. Okay, that definitely is an exaggeration, but with 50 civs, Civ 6 has more civilizations than any other game in the series by far, but there are still some that haven't ever featured. For this video then, I challenge myself to find 3 of the most interesting civs never to have featured in the series, and then to explain to you, the viewer, how they may play in a civilization game. And for those of you who watch until the end, we'll also throw in a few honourable mentions as a thank you. To get started, I came up with a few criteria that each civ has to meet. Most obviously, they cannot have appeared as a playable civilization in a mainline civ game before, or this video would be a little bit rubbish. For variety, each civilization has to be from a different continent, each civ has to have a strong candidate to be leader, and finally, so we can get a taste of how they could play in a future civ game, at their most influential, each civ has to have made a notable impact on their part of the world, which could be translated to one of the most common civilization victory types. With my criteria decided, the first civ I chose for this video was one I have often thought would fit very nicely into a civ game: the Mughal Empire. The Mughals, who were based on the Indian subcontinent, were a major civilization in South Asia between the 16th and 19th centuries. The only reason they've probably never featured in the series before is due to Gandhi's India being a constant, and who'd want to mess with him? As with most empires, the Mughals are remembered largely for their military conquest. Spearheaded by their war elephants, at their most prominent the Mughals dominated the Indian subcontinent and controlled territory encompassing parts of modern-day Pakistan, Afghanistan, Bangladesh and India. However, as much as I'd like to just talk about war elephants, and to be honest I would, the empire is also remembered for its administrative, economic and cultural achievements. The Taj Mahal, for example, was built by a Mughal emperor, and the third Mughal emperor, Akbar the Great, has received much praise from historians for his administrative and taxation reforms, which formed a strong foundation for the state for many years after his death. So who would lead them, and what victory type would they be most suitable to in a future Civ game? Well, it's no coincidence that we just name dropped Akbar the Great, because he'd be a standout candidate to lead the Mughal Empire in a future Civ game. The civilization he'd be leading would almost certainly have bonuses gearing it towards a domination victory, complemented by some form of administrative and taxation benefits to help maintain a large army. A culture victory might be on the cards too, but even this would likely be one accompanied with a decent amount of conquest, because that's kinda just what empires do. For the second civ in this video, I wanted to pick a civilization from probably the most underrepresented continent in the series: Europe. Honestly, I don't know why I'm like I am either, and maybe another European civ isn't what players need, but with so many of them being in the game already, I was intrigued to see if there was any relatively big ones left that haven't yet made the series. After some thinking and checking the civilization history books, I found that there is. Well, there's more than one, but the one we're going to talk about is Belgium. Bordered by France, Germany, Luxembourg and the Netherlands, Belgium, the state as we know it today, didn't really come into existence until 1830. Though there have clearly been more influential civs in European history, Belgium has certainly made its mark on the diplomatic side of things. Until Belgium's experience in the 2 World Wars, which for anybody that didn't know was, well, bad, Belgium quite interestingly followed a policy of neutrality. However, it is in more modern times that Belgium has played an even greater role in European diplomatic matters, with the HQ of the European Union located in its capital city, Brussels. Leopold I, the first king of Belgium, would be a great choice to lead Belgium. Through utilisation of his European family connections, Leopold acted as an influential intermediary in European politics during his reign, which would make him perfect for this version of the Civ. Leopold's Belgium would be angled towards a diplomatic victory and would have the ability to expertly navigate the diplomatic landscape, alongside giving invaders significant war weariness penalties for attacking. Due to Belgium's notable influence on European politics compared to its relatively small size, this Belgium would have real potential for playing tall with, and allow players to win with just a handful of cities. Throughout Civ 6 I've wanted more civs to play tall with, so I'd love to see something like this in Civ 7. We've got more videos coming up on missing civs from the series, including opportunities for viewers to have their own suggestions featured. If you want to be a part of that and support us to continue making videos like this, you can do so by commenting your suggestions below, liking the video, subscribing to the channel, and turning your notifications on. With civilizations from Asia and Europe already covered in this video, from the continents we have left, I wanted to find a civilization that I was actually genuinely surprised has never been in the series before. Luckily, I found one such civ from Africa. South Africa, which is located, shock horror, in the southern part of the African continent, became a sovereign state within the British Empire in 1934 and then the Republic of South Africa in 1961. Much like India blocking the Mughals' path to a civ game, it's probably only the fact that the Zulus have been an ever-present in the series which has stood in the way of South Africa making an appearance. Referred to as the Rainbow Nation, South Africa is a multicultural nation with a rich and diverse culture, including aspects such as art, literature, cuisine and sports. South Africa was the first African country to host the football, or soccer, yes I recognise that most of you are American, World Cup in 2010. The country is also well known for its national parks, which feature an incredible variety of wildlife, and for its stunning topography, including the well-known Table Mountain. As a side note, did you know that South Africa has 3 capital cities? I didn't, but I'm sure they could do something interesting with that in a civ game. Talking about how South Africa might appear in a civilization game, smooth segue I know. The leader for this civilization would almost certainly be Nelson Mandela, who is the best known and most appropriate figure to lead a South African civ. I'm really quite surprised he has never appeared in the series before. To reflect its cultural influence, South Africa would have powerful bonuses setting it up for a cultural or tourism victory, or whatever you want to call it. Unlike the Mughal Empire, a South African cultural victory would be enhanced not by conquest, but with Nelson Mandela as leader, by diplomacy. If Civ 7 works similar to Civ 6, throw in some really good late game tourism from a unique sporting arena or wildlife park building or improvement, and South Africa could be a very strong late game culture civ. There's plenty of brand new civs that didn't quite make the cut in this video. Honourable mentions go to Bulgaria, who had several empires within medieval Europe. From South America there's Argentina, who are one of the biggest modern states never to have appeared in the series, and from the Arctic and Subarctic, the Inuit could make for a unique playstyle if they ever featured in a civ game. Overall, I'm very happy with the civs I chose for this video, but what brand new civs do you want to see in Civ 7? Let me know down in the comments. Talking about Civ 7, I think that there's a real chance it could be released this year. If you want to know why, then go and check out the video on the card in the top right of your screen now. Thank you very much for watching today, and I will see you for some more Civilization content soon.